Hello, I'm Mike Spindler with DataLink, and I'm a practice manager in the data protection space. Today I want to talk to you about some of the factors that affect deduplication efficiency. I want to make this generic across target, source, and even software-based deduplication, and I'm going to concentrate in the hash-based type of technology. In a hash-based technology, in a backup world, you have a data stream. No matter where it's being processed, that data stream is broken into blocks. Each of those blocks through an algorithm gets a unique identifier. If that block is unique, it gets stored into a database or repository. And the actual data stream, the link to that unique block is pointed to that block in the repository. If that block has already been seen, it again discards the data and puts that link pointing to that block that's already in the repository. Now there's many factors that can affect deduplication. One of those factors is the file type and how that file is backed up. First of all, let's look at file type. For a graphics file or a picture, a video or a piece of audio, many times that file type is stored in a compressed format. If you go and change that picture, whether through it's a program or take another picture very similar to that, with the compression in the file type itself, when it comes time to backing it up, the deduplication rate is going to be minimal because of that compression of the file type. Another example where compression can affect is looking at structured data this time, is looking at backup of a database. Many of you might use an additional product or even a product within your database to do the actual database extraction. You write it to a file that's on the client at backup time, it's backed up. Many times those tools or the native utility writes that file in a compressed format, or you have it set to that. You're trying to economize on the space that it's using at the client. Well, again, because of that compression, when the actual backup software backs it up, your level of deduplication is minimized. Again, even if I'm just adding a few lines of extra rows into the database, once I compress that information, it shifts everything around, and with the compression, you're going to have a lot of unique blocks again, and you're going to minimize the deduplication that you get. An alternative to that, particularly in this space, is to use some of the hot modules within the backup software itself. Many of the deduplication technologies understand that data stream, understand RMAN, or understand the SQL piece of it, and is then able to readily block that data and be able to optimize the chunks that it makes or the blocks that it makes in order to have that better chance of redundancy. So in summary, compression is really the factor we're talking about, whether it's in a file type or actually in the database type that's out there. Next time we'll talk about retention and how that can affect deduplication. Thank you very much.